Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are taking our first look at the new Tier 7 Atlantico. Oh wait. It's been around a while, but something changed, guys. This update brings a new mission for people who have the Atlantico. So, for those of you who don't know, there is a mission to get a new commander. If you already own the Atlantico, or if you buy the Atlantico from the shop currently, then you get a special mission. So if you go here and you go to assignments, this is where you will find it. You'll see the Path of the Samurai. You will also see the mission to unlock the commander for the Atlantico. His name is Henrique Fernando. I apologize if I pronounced that wrong, but that's the best I got. Maybe it's Enrique? I don't know. I don't know if there's a French accent in there or not. Generally speaking, it could go either way. There's a lot of French and Spanish influence in the South America. So, anyway, there's also a lot of British too. Imagine that, all the empires. But anyway, what I'm saying is that's where you find the mission. Okay, all the mission is win 10 battles. That's all you have to do. Win 10 battles in the Atlantico and you unlock the commander. But the best part is you don't have to go into standard battle to do that. You can do it in AI. So I would recommend, if you want to get the commander as quickly as possible, take your Atlantico into AI, win your 10 battles, which takes very little time in AI because most of the battles are over in 5 minutes or less. So you can go in there, win the battles, get it done, you'll have your commander. All right, so why is this commander so special? Well, first of all, he's a specific commander for a battleship, which is always going to be better than having the generic commander. Like, it just is. Like, you're going to get some specific skills. But this commander has everything that I've ever wanted. Now, I'm going to probably add in some cutscenes throughout this video of, like, my previous video that I did on the Atlantico, where I specifically mention that if they added a battleship commander, that this thing would be absolutely crazy. Because I really did enjoy this ship. That's why I wanted to let everybody know. It's the ship. The ship is fine. We needed a commander. And if they added a commander, I hoped it was a hybrid commander, because if they do that, oh my god, this thing's going to be insane. Guess what, folks? Henrique Fernandez is, in fact, a hybrid commander, which means he is absolutely busted for this ship. All right, now don't get me twisted. I'm not saying the Atlantico is the best Tier 7 battleship, okay? It's still a solid contender, but I'm telling you, this commander is busted. There's so many options. If you want accuracy, you got it. If you want tankiness, you got it. If you want secondaries, you got that too. You can do all the things. So his base trait is Eagle Eye, which gives you main battery range and secondary gun range, right? So pretty solid there. We're running Haruna, which you can get right now with the Arpeggio Blue Steel, which is in the store right now. Pretty funny that she comes back just in time for this particular drop. So if you don't have Haruna and you like running secondary brawler type battleships, Haruna is massive for that because she increases the secondary range and dispersion on those secondaries. You run her with Franz von Hipper, which is the German like standard commander for battleships. And you get a ridiculous range and all of the grouping and dispersion that you could ever ask for out of your secondaries. That maximizes your secondaries, right? We also have Flammable Cannoneer. Now, obviously, you're going to see me run this because I like main battery range. I like main battery accuracy, so I do run this, though keep in mind that it does increase your risk of catching fire. And this is not ideal when you're going to be up close and personal getting shot by everybody because, honestly, it bites you in the butt a lot. So you might want to pull Flammable Cannoneer and go with Damage Control Party Cooldown. I'm just saying, like, it might actually be a good idea to go with this. Because while you do get the extra range in main battery grouping, that extra fire chance comes back and bites you in the butt quite a bit, as you'll see in my videos coming up. Now, you also have Crisscross, which nobody ever really uses, or Porcupine. Porcupine's insane, right? Extra secondary gun range, shell grouping, and dispersion. You get the double whammy, the grouping and dispersion buff for the secondary. So Porcupine, if you're running the secondary ship, you have to have it. Have to. right? Then on the third slot, you have on second thought, which you could use if you want, or you could go with marksmanship, which I think most of us are going to go with, right? Main battery dispersion, -7%. Again, gives you better accuracy. Always good. But in this fourth slot, you have reaching out if you wanted extra range, which you don't need, let's be honest. That you already have 18.1 or 18.2 kilometers with this particular build. You've got Master Mechanic, which gives you, at level 16, gives you 2 repair party charges. Plus the HP recovered for your heals and repair party cooldown is reduced. Okay? Or you could take Properly Meticulous. But honestly, I wouldn't recommend this. I would recommend this particular Master Mechanic. Gives you that extra heals. It's going to allow you to survive longer. Alright. Now, they do have Will to Rebuild, which could be a meme if you want to go that route, but Will to Rebuild got nerfed pretty heavily recently, so it's not really worth it in my opinion. This one-off secondary legendary skill is insane. Look at this. Not only does it give you an enhanced secondary charge, not only does it reduce the amount of time that your secondary enhanced charge cooldown is by 25%, but while your secondary enhanced targeting whatever booster is active, you get better dispersion out of your secondaries, better reload time out of your secondaries, and better main battery reload time. That's insane! That's a triple whammy combo! 7% on all 3 of them. That's crazy. Or, if you wanted to go even further crazy and say, oh, I don't need the secondaries as much, maybe I'll go with Testudo. They put this in here too, so you could potentially run 6 heals on this ship. Not that I'm saying you're going to use 6 heals a lot, I'm just saying you could if you wanted to. Run 6 heals on this particular ship. This commander has something for everybody. If you have the Atlantico, you just got to win 10 games and you get this commander, level him up, you're going to have a blast. I promise, this commander is busted. He's going to get nerfed. I would almost guarantee he's going to get nerfed. Because these skills, they're as a combo, as a wombo combo, especially this skill with in correlation with all of these, it's a strong combo. And if you really wanted to, I'll just give you a little bit of heads up. If you've got Justinian Lions from the 40K collab, you guys know the Justinian Lions. If we pull up Justinian Lions, you'll know his base trait is for the fire chance while your heals are active. Now remember, we get more heals and we get them back faster with this build. So, if you really wanted to, you could add even more fire chance to the ship while you're healing if you throw Justinian Lions in there instead of Haruna. But you wouldn't have those meme secondaries that reach out to 12.3 kilometers. That's right, these secondaries reach out to 12.3 kilometers with this build. So if you wanted to have the memes and even more fires, like you could totally switch out Haruna. I wouldn't switch Franz von Hipper because von Hipper gives you 14% to your gun range, whereas Haruna gives you more of a buff to your dispersion and less of a buff to your range. So the range is always what you kind of want initially for your secondaries because it allows you to engage the secondaries more often, meaning you're going to end up with more hits over time, even if they're not as accurate, okay? But yeah, this thing is busted. All right, let's look at the stats for this thing with the mains going. As you can see, we've got him leveled up to 16-2. He's got 5 heals because we have the Master Mechanic perk. And like I said, if you wanted to go Testudo, you could have 6 heals. Just right out the gate. We have 4 enhanced secondary targeting boosters. Okay? And remember, these, while your secondary booster is running, which is 30 seconds. For 30 seconds, you get a faster reload time, better dispersion out of your secondaries, and a faster reload time on your primaries as well. So it's kind of crazy. All right, let's look at the specs. Nothing changes with the survivability, but the artillery. This is where things change. So our main battery reload is 30 seconds. It's pretty average for a Tier 7 battleship. It's only got 15-inch guns, so keep that in mind. You got to know what you overmatch, what you don't. So any of the American cruisers that have 27mm bow, like Wichita, like the Baltimore, stuff like that, you don't overmatch them. Hipper, I believe, has 27mm bow. I know Azuma has a 27mm bow with an icebreaker. So you got to know what you overmatch, what you don't overmatch when you have 15-inch guns. So keep that in mind. But what we're really interested in is these secondaries. Look at the secondary firing range. For the 127mm 38 caliber Mark 12, Mark 24s, these are the American 5-inch 38s. you know, the Iowa class, well, I say Iowa. Literally every goddamn American ship from World War II pretty much had an American 5-inch 38 somewhere on the ship. Like, they were just thrown everywhere because they were amazing. They were a dual-purpose secondary that just did everything. It has 10 of them. So, pretty solid, right? It has 10 of these. So, you've got 5 either side of the ship, essentially. They're in single gun turrets, but you still have 5 of them either side of the ship. They reach out to 12.3 kilometers. They reload in 4.8 seconds, and they do 1,800 damage with a maximum fire chance of 5% with this build. Okay, that's pretty spicy. Then the British 234mm 50 caliber Mark 11 Mark 7s. You get 16 of them, reaching out to 12.3 kilometers, reloading in 10 seconds, with a HE shell maximum damage of 3850 and a 21% chance to set fires. This thing sets stupid amounts of fires with those 234mm guns. They don't reload that fast, 10 seconds, obviously. But again, you literally have a freaking Cheshire or a Drake strapped to either side of your ship. That's how powerful these secondaries are. And it doesn't matter what you're shooting at. They're going to feel them. All right, these 234mm HE shells are going to pin, and they're going to do damage, and they're going to set fires. So if you're in range of these things, prepare to start taking damage and fires every 10 seconds. And if somebody's running, I might have to try for the meme build of Justinian Lions just to see the amount of fires I get out of them, because I'm telling you, it's actually crazy. But the other thing I wanted to show is the main battery range is 18.2 kilometers, right? That's solid. 18.2 is as much as you're ever going to need out of this thing. So you can't really complain about that either. So that's the over-under on this Atlantico change with the commander. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the ship real quick because we got to get the thumbnail. I know, right? Like, come on. The only reason I do this is for the thumbnail, right? We look at the ship at the end of every time we do these stats, and we go for the thumbnail. But with all of that being said, I've got some amazing clips of the secondaries of this thing in action. We're gonna show you guys just how disgusting this thing is and how busted the commander is. So with that being said, let's get to the gameplay. Alright, so in this first clip, we are going to be in the Atlantico. We're on Riposte. We've had a pretty solid start. We managed to kill a Brandenburg, or help kill a Brandenburg. And we're going to come around the corner. We know that there's, I believe it's a Plymouth or something along those lines right here. Maybe it's a Neptune. I forget which one it is. One of those British light cruisers is right around the corner. I'm like, oh, we got this. I didn't notice that the Akatsuki was in the neighborhood. But Akatsuki comes up and he's like, I got you, fam. Don't worry. I will protect you. Well, fortunately, we have decent maneuverability in this thing, so we're going to go bow in. We're going to take one torpedo, no flood, we get lucky. We split the next set of torpedoes and almost get away with splitting the third set, but no, that's going to be a flood. We got the multi-flyer. Oh, it's a Tiger. So we go ahead and we focus the Tiger with the mains and let the secondaries do what they do best. And this poor Akatsuki just gets neutered. So we get the close quarters expert to add to the double strike to finish him off. Now, unfortunately, we do flood and burn to death, but that was just hilarious. I'm sorry. I don't care what you say. But this next match is going to be us. I am in a division with Mod Squad Rin. You guys know her, and obviously Opie as well. If you guys know them, I've called them out on the channel multiple times at this point. So thank you guys for letting me join you guys. We had a good time, hopefully. But this particular match is going to be insane. Again, I have played extremely reckless with these secondaries. I'm not gonna lie. I've been having an enjoyable time. Like, I don't care about surviving. Like, I just want to put these secondaries in a position where I can fire them off both sides of the ship and just enjoy the actual shit show that pops up. Pardon my language. But I'm telling you, this thing is insane. And I can just imagine. I'm gonna try to do a Justinian Lions meme build with these secondaries in the near future too, so keep an eye out for that. Let me know down in the comments. Do you guys want that? Get this video to 500 likes. Seriously, I know you guys can do it. This video will probably get 5,000 likes or 5,000 views in the first day. Surely you guys can get this to 500 likes. If you get 500 likes in this, we will do a Justinian Lions meme secondary fire starter build just for S&Gs so that we can see what we can get out of this thing. Well, I already said shits once, so might as well say shits and giggles. That's what it's all about, right? So if you guys want to see that, get this video to 500 likes. We'll do that. I know you can do 500 likes easy. Most of my videos get 300 to 400 likes anyway, so that's 500 is nothing. That's a super easy goal. Next time it'll be 1,000. I believe in you guys. Also, we just hit 45,000 subscribers on the channel, so thank you guys so much. You guys are killing it, man. We are still on the path to 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That's our goal. And we're only 5,000 away. You guys are crushing it, so thank you guys so much for all of your support, and appreciate everything you guys are doing to help me make it possible. Now, with that being said, we're on like the worst possible map for this. We got 4 destroyers, we're on a wide open map, everybody's going to be able to see us approach. But there's not a lot of scary stuff out there other than the destroyers. There's not a lot of scary stuff that counters us in this one. So we're just going to get stuck in. And when I say get stuck in, I legitimately mean that's what we're going to just drive straight in and get stuck in. Now, we got a Scharnhorst here. We know we overmatch him if we aim high. He's got an icebreaker, I believe, but we also have a Richelieu here. Not ideal. But we're just going to put ourselves in a position. Remember, I am not playing this ship the way you're supposed to play it, okay? I am solely trying to get a video to meme with these secondaries. That is my goal in this game. Like, I'm not trying to get a game to showcase just how good the ship is currently or anything like that. This is just purely for the fun of watching these secondaries go burnt. All right? That's what these do. But already, first shot from the secondaries, first fire. And that is just the beginning. We're going to have plenty more where that comes from. But these Scharnhorsts are actually going to be incredibly annoying because they're firing HE at me. I don't know why, but they are. But you can see secondaries are already tearing up the destroyers on the right. We've got secondaries firing off both sides of the ship, and this is the beauty of this thing. It's just too much fun, man. It's legitimately just too much fun to put this thing in a position to watch the secondaries go to work. Remember, you've got a heavy cruiser hanging off either side of your ship. Now here you can see I do damage con, and this is where having flammable cannoneer is a problem. Now you may remember in the Meet the video for the Atlantico, we weren't getting set on fire a whole lot. We didn't have flammable cannoneer. So because I wasn't running it, that's an extra 13% fire chance knocked off of my fires, right? Unfortunately, here, I'm running flammable cannoneer, so every time one of these guys shoots me, it's going to be a fire, right? You got a battleship caliber gun shooting HE, they're going to be fires. But my secondaries are still hitting the destroyers off to the right. My secondaries still hitting the 2 Scharnhorsts here. We've only caused 1 fire, though, which is surprising. But look, knocking out torpedo tubes, knocking out AA, knocking out secondary guns, all these things are huge. We aim high, we get decent accuracy out of the guns as well. Like, I'm telling you, this build is solid. And like I said, we are not playing smart here. This is not how you should just play this thing. Bull rushing straight in and getting shot at by everything, not a good idea. It's not conducive to living. And unfortunately, because of both of these Scharnhorsts firing HE plus their secondaries, we're going to get torn up here relatively quick. That actually, one of the Scharnhorsts is actually shooting AP initially. But you can see I'm trying to focus him down. We're going for high side plating superstructure area, and we get another good chunk here. I was really hoping that my teammates could help me finish these guys off, but unfortunately they were like right behind an island, unable to hit them. So they're focusing the Richelieu. So, is what it is. We lose a main gun, not the end of the world. Again, it's all about the secondaries for me. I just want these secondaries to keep doing their thing, and they are absolutely tearing these Scharnhorsts a piece. You can see 1,200 damage every time they hit the target, plus they're setting fires. Were you shooting the HE, or the AP at them? Which is another thing, if you wanted to shoot HE, you could totally do that. We get our first close quarters on a Scharnhorst. And we're going to go ahead and showcase to the Bismarck as well coming up here with his secondaries. Again, trying to establish who's got the best secondaries, and I've got another fire. That's 5 fires out of this thing already. And we're not done yet. Now, we're on damage control cooldown again. We've got our secondary booster going, which means we have better accuracy out of secondaries, better reload out of secondaries, and better reload out of our mains. So we aim high, we go for superstructure, absolutely slap the crap out of the Bismarck. Our secondaries are going. We've got fires on the Scharnhorst over there. Are we going to be able to finish him off? The 234 is firing at him again, and we get another close quarters out of another secondary battleship. So two secondary battleships enter, 2 of them go down to my secondaries. And then I've got a 3rd secondary class battleship right here. We got a Bismarck with all his secondaries firing, and we are just ripping him apart with main guns and secondary guns. We're doing all the things. Unfortunately, we are set on fire with the last-ditch effort, and there's our 3rd kill. We've got 120,000 damage by just sailing straight into the freaking fray and letting these secondaries do what they do. We got 6 fires already. Now, unfortunately, because of the double fires, we are going to go down here because the Richelieu does get a good hit on us, unfortunately. It is just what it is. Like, we should never have run fight fire with, or not fight fire because we don't have that. We should have never run flammable cannoneer if we're going to do this sort of gameplay because you're going to get set on fire every time. So if you're going to go with this secondary centric build, maybe drop the flammable cannoneer and go with the first one, which is your damage control. But that's really the only thing. And again, I don't care if we win or lose this game. That wasn't the point of it. The whole point of this game was just to see these secondaries in action, and we actually 100% stomped with the secondaries. Now, you can see Opie here. She is the last remaining survivor. She is the sole survivor of our division. Can she take out this Richelieu? Now, I know I'm going to irritate every French person that hears me say that, including Opie. So, every time I say Richelieu, it pisses off French people, just so you know. Like, they do not like the way I pronounce French battleship name, or French names in particular. But Opie always lets me know. She's like, I hate how you say that. I'm like, well, I've tried to say it your way. It doesn't work out for me. My two brain cells cannot comprehend other languages. Now here, you can see she started to go for the ram a little bit too late. He's going to get past her. It is what it is. Now she's in a compromised position. She could potentially slap him. She could actually shoot straight through the rear of his ship. Not through the like, bottom, like, the hull. She wants to aim high, go for superstructure, and holy mother of God. I asked her, I was like, where were you aiming? And what had happened there, I don't know if you guys have seen it happen to me on stream. It happens quite a bit. But you go to aim a shot, and sometimes it feels like the sensitivity goes up to 100 on your shell, or on your, like, controller when you're trying to fine-tune. And apparently that's what happened with her. She went to, like, aim, and the cursor just jumped on her. But it is one of those things, it's just like, what the was that? But, fortunately, she gets loaded. She is going to get a good shot here into the superstructure. And again, I'm pretty happy with how Opie has done recently. I've said it a lot. Like, Opie has come a long ways in a relatively short amount of time. She's doing much better at surviving. She's putting herself in better positions. She's not getting herself blown up at 30 seconds into the match most of the time. It's good to see her progression. And that's one of the appeals of her YouTube channel for me. Watching her, like, get better over time. You know what I'm saying? It reminds me of when I started my my World of Tanks console channel back in the day. When I was doing World of Tanks console, I was an arty YouTuber, and I was one of the best arties in the game, which made me one of the most hated people in the game, rightfully so. But I had a lot of flack because I just no skill artillery player, right? Even though everything takes skill to do it at a high level. Whether or not the class itself takes skill to play initially is a different style, or a different argument. But here you can see she gets beautiful shot through the Richelieu, who had beached himself on the island. And the team is in a position where we are capping their base, and our kid, the Monty out there, I'm sure he's going to be salivating at this, but our USS Kid goes into the cap, kills one of the destroyers, which is huge, and then gets some resets on the rest of them. Also manages to torp the battleship, I believe, on his way in. And so all of that was a hero play. 100% hero play out of USS Kid absolutely saves this game for our team because they have the advantage. But because he was able to reset the cap with so much time left, that allows our single destroyer to stay in the cap and capture the base and win. And the Kid gets the flooding kill on the Flandre. And that allows us to win this match. So now they only have 2 people in the cap, and Opie, I told her to just go ahead and go straight into the cap. Like, worst case scenario, you take a torp on the way in, but it's going to be incredibly close, I told her. As I said, he wasn't quite at halfway when these guys got reset. So I wasn't sure we were going to win this. I was like, it's very, very close. They got 2 people accounting for the cap. We only have 1. So it's going to be super close. So I told her just go straight into the cap, and fortunately for us, it was just enough for us to get the win. And she's actually going to get ambushed off the left side of her ship. You'll see the destroyer pop up and launch torpedoes from the left, which kind of caught me off guard too, because his last known was off the bow to the right. So the fact that he was able to double back and then come back around and actually shoot her, or try to torp her in this situation. You can see 1 is there, and you can see I told her to go straight, and there you go. he comes up on the left side, and I was like, oh god. Well, we know you're going to take a torp. That's no big deal. But fortunately for us, it doesn't matter because that is a GG. She's able to damage con. She does die, but it doesn't matter. The thought was there, right? We just had to try to delay them. And that was enough to win the match. So GG's to Opie and Rin, and a ridiculous game in the Atlantico to showcase just what these secondaries are capable of. And like I said, 500 likes, and we will do the Justinian Lions inspiration in place of Haruna and try to get like a meme build for a fire chance just to see how many fires we can get with the secondaries. If you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.